Hey everyone, welcome to Malleus Gaming. I'm your host Malleus, and today in Total Tactics, we're going to be taking a look at a combined arms infantry formation, the Double Echelon. This is an evolution of the standard Echelon formation, and adds in ranged infantry for some close-range fire support to punish your enemy's battle line. Real quick before we start, if you enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, as it will really help the channel and appease the YouTube algorithm gods. Now, to your stations! So, to begin with, if you haven't seen my previous video on infantry tactics and formations, which covered the Echelon, you can click on the card in the top right to get all caught up. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Now that we're on the same page, I want to go over a few things. The standard Echelon is a very effective alternative to the standard battle line, and when used properly can allow you to turn an unfavorable battle into a victory by letting you gain local superiority. However, like every formation, it comes with its own weaknesses that you will have to take into account, in addition to the strengths it provides. The Echelon actually has many similarities to the checkerboard formation. Like the checkerboard, the units are spaced out, which allows for more compact and dense units to hold a battle line, while still covering a reasonably wide frontage. However, also much like a checkerboard, the front line can be brittle. To gain local superiority, the Echelon is highly dependent on every link in the chain lasting as long as it can before relief can arrive. Sometimes, though, depending on your enemy, the links in the chain may not be able to hold out. In the battle that's been playing out here, I've had 9 units of Chaos Dwarf warriors and a Lord fighting 9 Orc Biguns and a Warlord with a standard Echelon. The Biguns clearly outclass the Chaos Dwarfs one-on-one, and even with the Echelon, the Dawizar lost, though they did a lot of damage in return. The key thing was that the Orcs were able to break through parts of my line and were then able to bring their own numbers to bear. Ultimately, the Chaos Dwarfs lost, taking 527 casualties, with the Orcs taking 507 casualties in return. Altogether, still a very close battle. Clearly, having some reserves for support would help out greatly, but let's see how we can really leverage the Echelon's key qualities. Like I said earlier, the Echelon bears many similarities to the checkerboard. The spacing between the melee units, much like the checkerboard, allows for ranged units in the second line to have clear, unobstructed fields of fire. Unlike the checkerboard though, where the units are effectively in a straight line, the units of the Echelon are offset. This allows for the range units to have a much wider field of fire, and lets them more easily shoot into the enemy's flanks. Now, any range unit could take advantage of this, whether they be bow-armed or gunpowder. However, I think the most effective use of this tactic would be through utilizing high-damage, low-range missile units such as Iron Drakes, Warp Fire Throwers, or Blunderbys. Yes, I'm still calling them that. The low-range weakness of these units is compensated by the protection they gain from the front line, as well as the ease with which they can position themselves for flanking shots. So let's see this in action. Alright, Chaos Dwarfs moving into position. Army composition is a little bit different now. We've got 5 units of Chaos Dwarf warriors in the front echelon, with the rear echelon being made up of 4 Chaos Dwarf Blunderbys, or Blunderbuses for you regular folk. I've got my Chaos Dwarf Lord over on the left flank here. And here come the Orcs for getting some, a little volley off there. Oh, here they come. These blunderbys aren't able to, I guess, pick a target yet. Getting a couple of shots off, but there we go. Repositioning them a little bit. And getting some nice flank shots here on this unit of big uns. I think they've got like 3 or 4 units focused on this first block here. Nice aerial shot. The orcs are really blobbing up. But I'm maneuvering the blunderbusses into positions. Getting some beautiful crossfiring going on there. Love to see it. The Chaos Dwarfs, they're holding off pretty well, one-on-one. It's just these two parts here where there's a bunch of orcs blobbed up on my units. This central one has the Warlord in it, and looks like they've broken through. But, since I have a secondary line of blunderbusses that I can reposition and all open fire at once, less of an issue now. Looks like I've broken one of the orc units too, and my warriors are moving in to support another blob. The orcs pouring in, but the blunderbusses seem to have fended them off pretty well. Oh, very well. They're kind of all dead now. There they go. There's one unit fleeing. This unit got stuck on a unit of dwarves and gets annihilated. Oh, that was beautiful. Alright, my lord's still fighting over here. Looks like fighting against their warboss as well. Orcs fleeing the central lines, getting shot. On the far... this is the far right flank. I've still got warriors and orcs fighting. Holding pretty even there. My surviving warriors are moving in to support my lord. Still a big old blob here. My lord's using his special item to keep himself alive a little bit longer. There's a lot of red and a lot of brown. Hard to see what's going on. But I've got my blunderbusses moving into position. I've kind of blocked them with my reinforcing dwarf warriors, but they're ready to intercept some some rallied orcs who are going to be fleeing again. There they go. At this point, I'm not really worried about maneuvering around. It looks like the orcs have fled, and they're getting cleaned up. Chaos Dwarfs winning with 234 casualties, the Orcs suffering 541. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, as it will really help out the channel. If you have any feedback, or if there are any particular topics you'd like to see covered, let me know in the comments. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!